I'm taking the meds to a lab to be tested for efficacy.
So usually when we look at the report, what we are looking at is the potency. So potency refers to the amount of medication. So if a product says that they have a certain amount of medicine, you expect that 100% potent if they have the active ingredient.
I see.
So minimally you do expect a 90% potency. Okay, so looking at the results, so if we look at the Triluma one, it's only 63.3%. So it fails the potency test.
And why might that be the case?
So maybe, would you like to tell me how did you purchase the medication?
Essentially, I just went online, typed it in, checked out, and a few days later it was sent to me.
And did they mention anything about storage conditions?
I didn't really read it too carefully.
And how did it arrive? Was it in cold storage?
Cold storage, meaning was it kept cool like in a little ice box? Nah, just came in a normal box. I mean, nothing special.
So for Triluma, this item should be kept between 2 to 8 degrees Celsius to maintain the stability of the medication. And that might be one reason why we're seeing it being less potent. And when it's less potent, it's less effective and will be less useful.
So in other words, it may have been left out in the open.
That's right.
I'm sure in the van, the car on the way here, all that could have affected the potency.
And this extends to other medications that require cold storage. For instance, insulin is one very common example where if you don't store it properly, that medication would not be as effective.
And that's hard to tell because when I go online and buy stuff, I don't even know how they store it or where the medication is coming from.
And that is one of the risks with online shopping.
Turns out, the website did have a disclaimer, so buy at your own risk, I guess. As for the generic meds I bought physically from the stores in Malaysia,
generally these ones are within expected range. They pass the potency test, and that means these generic ones are safe to use. But if you are going to purchase medication and deciding that you need to take certain, for example, blood pressure medicines yourself, then because these are prescription medicine for a good reason, you do require a doctor to follow up with you regularly to make sure that the medicines are appropriate for you. The other concern, bypassing the doctor's follow-up, you would miss that process of the monitoring that is usually required for prescription medicine for its safe use. When you get a refill for cholesterol-lowering medication, for instance, you don't really sense whether your cholesterol is high or low, and it's not possible for you to sort of tell on your own whether it's working or not.
So yes, compared to Singapore, medicines are certainly cheaper in Malaysia. It's even cheaper if you buy the locally made generics. For instance, these that we found in Malaysia were just as effective and potent. No wonder Singapore health authorities are encouraging patients to use more generic meds to help keep costs affordable. But that being said, it's still always a good idea to know where they're made, how they're stored, and how they're delivered.